Good day, everyone across North America. This is John Garmendi with Sony's Professional Solutions of America. For those of you joining us for the first time, welcome. And for those of you who have been tuning in to this series since early 2020, we'd like to welcome you back. We've developed these webinars so that our customers, resellers, integrators, and consultants can stay informed and up to date on Sony's latest products and solutions, especially during this last year when many of us were not able to meet in person. In today's webinar, entitled Bravia Multi-Display Setup and Configuration, we'll review our current Bravia lineup, we'll demonstrate how to engage Pro Mode, multi-display software installation, and configuration of multi-display for both traditional and mosaic video walls. Before we start, a few items of housekeeping. As with all of our webinars, there'll be an opportunity for Q&A. So please submit your questions via the in-event question panel. We're going to post links to information referred to during the webinar in the chat panel, and we will also post a link to our YouTube playlist where you can see all of our previously archived Tech Tuesday webinars. Joining me today will be Karim Springer, Senior Sales Support Engineer for Sony's Northeastern region. I'll turn it over to Karim now, and I'll join you back here for Q&A afterwards.
Thanks, John. My name is Karim Springer, the Sales Support Engineer for the Northeast region. Today we're going to be talking about multi-display settings on our Bravia model series. Before we get started, I'd like to show you a short clip of our Bravia lineup. Let's take a look.
Bravia 4K HDR professional displays. Sony's professional displays offer high brightness, high contrast, and high color reproduction for commercial applications. Bravia 4K professional displays BZ40J and BZ30J series offer a full range of sizes, and BZ35J series are renewal models for the 43-inch and 50-inch sizes. In addition to the size lineup, the new product line of the BZ30J series brings wide options for business application environments. The BZ40J series is equipped with Sony's latest technology, the new Cognitive Processor XR, that provides an incredibly immersive experience with advanced image correction for clarity, color, contrast, and motion. The BZ35J and BZ30J series incorporate Sony's 4K HDR processor X1 with object-based HDR remastering for high-quality pictures with incredible color, contrast, and clarity. The image enhancement and color reproduction features of the Cognitive Processor XR and the 4K HDR processor X1 make these professional displays ideal for commercial applications where it is essential to captivate and clearly communicate with viewers. Bravia professional displays also incorporate powerful commercial features such as Pro Mode, IP control, and mirroring functions. With high picture quality, broad range of model sizes, and professional features, these displays are ideal for virtually any business environment. In meeting rooms, presentations can be shared with precise detail and crisp, sharp graphics. In huddle spaces, quality images can be shared for clarity and productive collaboration. Bravia Professional Display is suitable for places of education too. In public venues, Bravia Professional Displays can share impactful digital signage for clear messaging, wayfinding, or alerts. Bravia Professional Displays are ideal for virtually any business environment with picture quality and commercial features. The new Bravia Professional Display design. The Sony logo appears on the top right side bezel to accommodate professional installations. The BZ40J 100-inch model includes a carrying handle to improve the large size display stability. The BZ30J 32-inch model has AC adapter holder and cable clamper for cable management and simple installation. This cable management design helps to create a clean installation appearance without messy cabling. Designed specifically for professional applications, our lineup of Bravia professional displays can fully support the needs of your application.
The multi-display setting can be ran on any one of our Pro Bravia model series. For the FWD series, it's important to understand that this display can only be mounted in landscape, versus the FW series, which can be mounted in both landscape and portrait. What's required for the setup? A source, HDMI splitter, and your displays. All that's required between the HDMI splitter and the display are cables. Now let's take a look. Okay, so as you can see here, what you want to do first is put your display in Pro Settings. The way you get to Pro Settings, you can either access it through a tool on your display application, or you can hit Information, Display, Volume Up, Home on your IR remote. This will put you into Pro Settings. Pro Settings, the way it's identifiable is you'll see that blue banner at the top of your screen. Once into Pro Settings, you could then go into your Settings menu. You'll notice that Pro Settings is your first options under Settings. Access your Pro Settings, it'll bring down another submenu. The multi-display function can be found under Startup Services. As you can see here, there's a list of different applications that can be ran internally utilizing the system on chip on the display. Today we're going to utilize the multi-display function. You do have to go in and enable the application in order for it to run. Once enabled, the display will go into a series of loading the files. As you can see here, you have install or cancel. What we want to do is install, license agreement, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and then accept. During this time, the application is being loaded onto your display. You'll notice that the display will go to white, and then you will have that identification at the top of your screen. What you want to do with your IR remote, go over to install, and now the multi-display function is being loaded onto your display. At the last option, the display will prompt you to reboot. So once your display reboots and comes back up, you can now load the multi-display settings onto the home screen by going to the little plus icon, locate your application, multi-display settings, and now it's placed on the home screen. So let's execute this application. Once it comes up, this will be your initial settings. You'll notice that for setting mode, you have two options, simple and advanced. Simple is designed for traditional video wall applications versus the advanced, which is designed for mosaic video wall applications. You can set it for auto startup. I'm going to leave that off for now. Identify your HDMI input. Okay. And then below input, you have rows. You can do up to a total of 5 rows or 5 columns with the simple video wall application mode. I'm going to leave it at 1 because we're only using 2 displays in this particular demo. For columns, same principle applies. 5 by 5 video wall application, I could do a total of 5. Coming down into position, I now have the ability of identifying what this display, which display is where. So for my display on my right, that's going to be display 1. My one on the left is going to be obviously display 2. These last two columns, you have the ability of adjusting your margins. So you're able to adjust your margin up to 50 if need be. I'm going to leave it at 0 for your top and side. And for the bottom, you have the same ability, all the way up to 50. You'll notice that your bottom margin is now moving upward or inward from the top. Once you have your simple mode configuration set, you do want to hit apply, and that will put it into a full screen mode. I'm going to go ahead and reconfigure display 2. You have to match the settings as your previous menu on your other display. Other display is in simple mode, so I'm going to leave it in simple mode. Auto startup will be off for this particular demo. I'm identifying my HDMI input. It's located on HDMI 4. The amount of rows I'm going to be using. Display 1 is set to 1 row. So I'm going to actually just leave it at 1. The amount of columns. To position, I want to set it to 2. And one thing I really want to point out, you'll notice that when I'm transitioning between my two positions, it will actually highlight identifying which display you're actually configuring it to. So let's set this guy to 2. And then again, my margins, I really want to set them both to the same value as my first display. Before I hit apply, I really want to go into the advanced just to take a look at what's in there. So on the advanced, you'll notice that you have a little bit more scaling options. Auto startup is still the same as simple, your HDMI input. However, you now have the ability of configuring your X and Y axis as well as your width. You also have a lot more features at the bottom here for your margins for the top, right, left, and bottom. So I'm just going to move my bottom a little bit just to see. I'm going to do the same thing for my top. You'll notice that it's actually moving to a total volume of 50. I'm going to switch it back to simple mode because my display 1 is in simple mode. And then hit apply. You'll notice now that I have both displays running, utilizing the multi-display scaling feature, and my image is spread out amongst these two 65-inch Pro Bravia displays. With that, I would like to toss it back to John to any questions you may have. Thank you.
Thanks, Karim. Fantastic demo. Yeah, we've got a couple of questions already in the question panel, and I encourage people to continue to feed your questions. I know one of them actually came up from Davis, and it was addressed by something that we had posted in the chat, uh, asking about any how-to videos on Pro Mode and other Pro Bravia functions. So I would encourage everyone to take a look at that link to our Pro Mode settings. YouTube videos that we have listed at that link. We've got another here from David and Karim. David asks, um, is the SoC, the system on a chip, on board all of the models, sizes, etc. in the Sony Pro Bravia lineup?
Yes, that is correct. For both the FW and the FWD series, all our displays are system on chip.
Fantastic. We also have a question from Paul. And Paul asks about can the displays be automatically adjusted for color temperature and brightness to be used on camera?
The color temperature cannot be adjusted. However, you do have the ability in pro settings to adjust a certain level of color brightness as well as contrast and black levels as well.
Okay, great. We've got a question from Linda. Linda asks about uh, uh, Energy Star certification on our Pro Bravia displays.
Yes, so both our BZ35J as well as the BZ40H series are Energy Star certified.
Fantastic. And another question here, stand by. I just switched out. Okay, this one's from Jeremy. And Jeremy asks, is there a way to set audio in Pro mode so it doesn't switch between internal and external speakers?
At the moment, Promo do not have that ability in order to switch between internal or external speakers.
Okay. Question from Mark. Hold on one second here. I think I lost track of Mark's question. Okay. Yeah. Question from Mark. Mark is asking the following. If you had a quantity six, if you had a six quantity, two by two arrangement, all needing the same video, what would you recommend to split the same source across all six displays?
All that will be needed for that particular configuration would be a HDMI splitter. So you'll have your source, that'll be an input, and then it distributes that video source out to your video wall configuration. So they're all getting the same source. Once you get to your display, that's where you'll do your configuration as far as the scaling goes.
Or are there any resolution limitations to total wall assembly or individual displays?
Within the configuration, it will show you that it's a 1920 by 1080. So that will be your max resolution at the moment.
Okay, great. And let's see if there are any other questions here. Yeah, Kevin asked, "Did I lose audio?" No, Kevin, that was my fault. I accidentally went on mute. Um, there is a question from Charles. He asks about TAA compliance. So, are the Bravia Pro displays TAA compliant?
Yes, that is correct. All our displays, whether it's a FW or FWD series, are all TAA compliant.
Thanks, Karim. I think there might be one exception, and that's the 32 32-inch BZ30J.
That is correct.
And we've got another question from Michael. Michaels asks, what displays would you recommend when trying to reduce the black edge connected side by side?
You're referring to bezel width. That would be, I would highly recommend the BZ30Js. They tend to have a thinner bezel, as well as the BZ40H series. And I could definitely circle back with you and get you those approximate dimensions. However, you can go onto our ACE portal and get bezel dimensions as well.
Yep, bezel dimensions, Revit files, CAD drawings on the ACE portal. And also, I know we dropped into the chat a link to the Pro Bravia Knowledge Center as well. So I'd encourage everyone to check out both the ACE portal, and I don't know if Chris can drop one in there. Oh, very good. So there's Ace Portal just appeared in the chat link, and we posted the Pro Bravia Knowledge Center earlier as well. And just making a quick check for any final questions. Um, yeah, Charlene asks if all of these models are currently shipping.
Yes,
And
that is correct. All our models are shipping.
perfect. So I'll just leave a second or two for any final questions. Um, Seeing none, I would say again, I thank everyone for your time and your attention. I know everyone's very busy, but I hope you find these useful. And by the way, a lot of what we present and develop in the way of the Tech Tuesday series comes as a direct result of your requests. So if there are topics you'd like to cover, by all means, please email any one of us here, or you could email me at john.garmendi@sony.com. We do have a last question here from Mark. He asks, this is a good one. Can you only configure to a grid, or can you do irregular shapes?
You could do both setups. So as I mentioned before, the simple will allow you to do the traditional video wall configuration. However, if you had displays with different sizes, let's say you had a 32-inch and a 45 and then a 65, that would be considered more of a mosaic setup. So you definitely could do that configuration under the advanced setting.
Okay, great. I don't see any others or follow up questions. So again, I thank everybody for your time and your attention. Don't hesitate to reach out, and we look forward to your input to help us develop further future Tech Tuesday webinars. We also look forward to seeing any of you that will be attending that will be attending Infocomm, and we invite you to Sony's booth. And if you stick around just for another minute or so, you'll hear a special message from Rich Ventura, our vice president of the B2B group, to give you a little bit of a sneak peek on what you'll be seeing at Infocomm this year. So thank you, everyone. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you on our next Tech Tuesday.
Rich Ventura, Vice President of B2B at Sony IPSA Pro. And we're really excited to see all of our friends and family at Infocomm this year. Within the Sony booth, you're going to see a lot of amazing solutions. Starting first with our crystal LED products, we'll be showing both our B series and C series, 2K and 4K walls. And we're going to show some amazing content on each one of these walls. And remember, with Sony's products, we are the industry leader in delivering complete solutions when we look at virtual production and other direct view LED solutions. As we move across our booth, we go into our Pro Bravia space. Within there, you're going to see everything ranging from our 32-inch to our amazing 100-inch display. We're going to be showing integrations with a lot of our partners. These integrations will include digital signage solutions that will be running embedded on the Sony SoC. And for those who don't know SoC, system on a chip. The other thing we're going to be showing are integrations and solutions running with our partners for collaboration. So we look at Cisco, Crestron, Pexip, Logitech. We're going to show a lot of just great ways our products are being deployed, as well as our native collaboration solutions being able to send from your laptops and tablets, both over Google Chromecast, as well as sending over from Apple AirPlay. As we move further through our booth, you're going to see our great business projectors. You're going to see everything ranging from our entry-level line all the way up to our high-end 4K SXRD projectors. These are just amazing visual solutions. And yes, projectors are still alive and well, and we do a lot of great installations with that. Further, as you wander through the booth, you're going to go into our imaging and analytics space. And we always talk about how great Sony camera solutions are. So everything from our traditional sRG cameras going into our edge analytics solution, where we'll be able to do things like handwriting extraction, chroma keyless, tracking, auto zooming in, all of those solutions all in one box. It's definitely a solution you can't miss. As we walk around the booth a little bit further, you're going to see our industry-leading SRD spatial reality display. which is really taking a whole new idea of technology and putting it in front of you and really taking 3D to you instead of from you. And you're going to see a lot of really amazing solutions around that. The last thing I'll leave you with as you walk around the booth, you're going to get a sense of something different, and that is the new Sony. You're going to see our integrations of partners. You're going to see us talk about solutions. You're going to see us talk about your business, your pain points, and your needs. These are areas that we really want to talk more and more with each one of you, our customers, our partners, our friends, as you come to the Infocomm booth. And I can tell you, make sure you set some time up for not only the tour to see all these great, amazing solutions we talked about, but even spend some time with us in our tech suite. There's a lot of really amazing technology in there. And we'll even point you to some of our partners who will have integration of our products in their booth. So net, come to the Infocomm, spend some time with Sony, learn, teach, speak, engage, all those things with us with over 3 days. Look forward to seeing you there.